If you own a condo here in Boca Raton or you're thinking about buying one, there are some major changes happening that could impact your ownership costs, your ability to finance a purchase, and ultimately the value of your condo. And the problem is, many people won't find out about these changes until they're already dealing with a surprise assessment, a financing issue, or a more difficult sale. Let me walk you through what's happening right now. So, Florida has made some of the biggest changes to condominium regulations that we've seen in decades, specifically around inspections and reserve funding. Those changes are now affecting condo owners and buyers across the state. As of January 1st this year, the transition period officially ended. Condo buildings 3 stories or taller now have to complete required structural inspections and properly fund reserves for major components, things like roofs, plumbing, electrical systems, and structural repairs. Boards can no longer simply vote to waive those reserve requirements the way that many associations did in the past. Here's what that means in the real world. For years, some older buildings kept monthly maintenance fees artificially low by delaying repairs and underfunding reserves. Now many of those associations are having to catch up all at once. That means special assessments, which are one-time charges paid by unit owners, and in some buildings those assessments have reached tens of thousands of dollars, and in some extreme cases, over $100,000 per unit. But here's where this gets even more important for buyers and sellers. Starting August 3rd, new condo financing guidelines are changing how lenders review condominium buildings. The focus is shifting from just the buyer's financial qualifications to the overall health of the building itself. Lenders are going to be taking a much closer look at things like reserve studies, association budgets, insurance coverage, deferred maintenance, pending litigation, and whether the building is financially prepared for future repairs. These changes could also create an advantage for cash buyers. When a condo requires more extensive lender review, the timeline can become longer, and some buyers may face financing challenges depending on the building's financial condition. A cash buyer doesn't have that same hurdle, which can make their offer more attractive to sellers, especially in buildings where financing is more complicated. That doesn't mean cash buyers should skip their homework. In fact, the same due diligence applies. A cash buyer still needs to understand the building's reserve assessments, insurance, and long-term financial health because you're buying into the association, not just the 4 walls of the unit. Remember, cash is king, but knowledge is the real currency. Now, what does that mean for financed buyers? A condo that was easy to finance a year ago may not be as simple today if the association has financial issues, inadequate reserves, or unresolved building concerns. For buyers, that means you can't just fall in love with the unit anymore. You have to evaluate the building. Before writing an offer, you want to review the association's financials, recent board minutes, reserve information, insurance details, and any pending assessments or repair projects, because a beautifully renovated condo in a poorly managed building can become a very expensive purchase very quickly. For sellers, this matters too. The condition of your individual unit is only part of the equation. The financial health and management of the entire building can impact your buyer pool, financing options, and ultimately your property's marketability. Now, does this mean condos are a bad investment? Absolutely not. There are many well-run buildings throughout Boca Raton with strong reserves, responsible boards, and excellent long-term value. In fact, a financially healthy building may become even more desirable as buyers become more educated. The message here is simple. Due diligence matters now on a condo more than ever. If you own a condo, ask your association for the most recent structural integrity reserve study, current reserve balances, and any information about upcoming assessments or major projects. If you're considering buying a condo, make sure you're looking beyond the countertops, the views, and the renovations. The building itself is part of your investment. If your building has already gone through this process or you've experienced special assessments, please drop me a comment. I'd like to hear what happened to you. And if you own a condo in Boca Raton and you're not sure where you stand, or you're thinking about buying and you want another set of eyes on the numbers before you commit, send me a message. I'll help you to understand what you're looking at so you can make an informed decision.